3 decades ago, we were the first in Europe to create a new, modern material, Kerrock, a material created by a fusion of aluminum hydroxide and a polymer-based acrylic binder. It combines the qualities of nature and the benefits of composite materials. The basic shape of the Kerrock material manufactured in Kolpa are sheets, sinks, and wash basins of typical dimensions and colors. The sheets can then be shaped to any form during the manufacturing process. The incredible flexibility of the Kerrock material offers endless possibilities for imaginative creations. Its crisp and pure form is a source of inspiration. The material makes even the most daring design solutions possible. The quality of its material is especially evident when equipping the interiors and exteriors of any facility. It is possible to shape it into many different innovative forms through a wide palette of colors and dimensions. Even though Kerrock resembles stone, the material is pleasant and warm to the touch. It's smooth, non-porous, massive, and homogeneous. Kerrock is very strong and tough. It is resistant to heat and fireproof. It is not sensitive to external and internal climatic conditions. The material's non-porous characteristic offers absolute resistance to water and moisture. Kerrock is also popular because it takes little effort to clean and maintain. Various stains and shallow scratches can be easily removed with regular cleaning agents. We recommend fine abrasive products to achieve the vivid feel of colors. It is possible to completely restore the product by grinding and polishing. At Kolpa, we have also developed special editions of Kerrock sheets that have a modified composition. Kerrock Medical contains an antibacterial substance integrated in its overall structure that continuously eradicates bacteria and prevents its further development. Kerrock Lumino ambient lighting awakens the senses, thoughts, and perception of the world. A wide palette of color hues creates a space where usefulness and creativeness comes to life. Kerrock ES is intended for thermoforming advanced shapes and sharper radiuses. Kerrock MF has an improved resistance to fire. We use it in spaces that require the med certificate. Kerrock sheets can be stored horizontally or vertically. We make sure that they are evenly supported and that they do not bend. We only transport one sheet at a time in a vertical position. All Kerrock sheets go through a quality check before being packaged. Damage can occur during the subsequent manipulation and transport. We check whether the sheet is damaged and in the right color before cutting. If a product requires more than one sheet, we check whether the sheets come from the same batch. We always make sure that the shades are equal before cutting. If during your inspection you discover an error that may significantly extend the manufacturing process or impede an efficient use of a sheet, immediately notify the distributor. The standards for a quality check of sheets are presented in the Kerrock processing instructions. Processing Kerrock is simple. It's processed in a similar way as wood, on standard machines for processing wood. The excellence of the final processing procedure is the key advantage that gives the product its expected aesthetic look and useful quality. Kerrock is usually sawed on format saws in order to cut standard panels. The edge must be cut straight, avoiding chipping to allow for an invisible joint. We can use water cutting for cutting irregular shapes. We mill the Kerrock material on CNC, table, or manual milling tools for wood. Milling allows us to create a variety of shapes of edges and borders, round, straight, curved, and even stylized shapes. We recommend angle milling cutters, intended for solid surface materials for creating the inner radius. Thermal heating allows us to shape Kerrock sheets into various forms. We can curve them and even partially shape them three-dimensionally. The sheets are heated in furnaces at temperatures ranging from 150 to 170 degrees Celsius for 15 to 30 minutes depending on the thickness of the material. The sheets that we want to form thermally must have smoothly brushed edges in order to avoid the notch effect or micro cracks. The heated sheet is shaped in two-sided casts, which allows us to achieve the desired shape after it has cooled to the room temperature. Here at Kolpa, we've designed special ES sheets that allow thermoforming of sharper radiuses for forming advanced shapes. The color white, number 112, is usually available for this type of manufacturing. However, it is possible to use other single-color effects for larger quantities. We drill into Kerrock with a manual or stable drill machines with high-speed steel or tungsten carbide drill bits. If it's necessary to screw into the Kerrock surface, a PVC fitting must be inserted. Kerrock is turned on the lathe for wood and metal. The processing parameters are similar to the ones for processing soft metals. We use two-component acrylic adhesive to bond two Kerrock elements. That is how we achieve invisible joints, as the adhesive is adapted to the color of the Kerrock sheet. It's necessary to diligently follow the instructions when preparing the adhesive and joining. The number of the color on the adhesive must correspond to the number of the color on the Kerrock sheet. When gluing two Kerrock sheets of different colors, we must use the adhesive of one of the colors. Before applying the adhesive on the edges of the two pieces, we must make sure that the two parts match perfectly. We must also check if the shades of the Kerrock pieces that we are bonding match. The adhesive is applied in the gap between the two elements. Afterward, they are pressed to their final location. The adhesive must be left to shrink for 45 minutes. Any further processing should be carried out 2 hours after the elements have been joined. The joint reaches its final hardness after 24 hours. The temperature of the Kerrock material, the adhesive, and the space where it's joined must be at least 18 degrees Celsius. Kerrock sheets in a marble style mimics the look of natural marble. The lines in the structure require that these types of sheets are joined at an angle of 45 degrees. This is the only way to ensure a nice look of the final product. We may also join elements with the use of grooves. This type of joining elements is easier, but the joints are visible. Kerrock sheets in a metallic style have similar visual characteristics as the marble sheets. That is why they are joined in the same way. This type of joining elements is required for sheets in a marble or metallic style and is recommended for other colors. It's possible to glue the Kerrock material to other materials with permanently elastic silicone or polyurethane adhesives, which enable stretching and thereby prevent the deformation of products. The instructions of the manufacturer of the elastic adhesives must be diligently followed during bonding. Before bonding the Kerrock bowl, we must check the correctness of the cutout and whether it's set evenly on the work surface. If the sheet and bowl are in the same color, the cutout on the sheet must be deepened in the same way as during the making of the edge of the sheets in a marble or metallic style to reduce the visible differences in shades between the sheet and the bowl. Apply the Kerrock adhesive to the circumference of the cutout and set the bowl inside. We recommend putting an additional weight on top of the bonded bowl. The joint may be processed after the adhesive has hardened. To create the final shape, the Kerrock product must be grinded. An electric machine with a suction system is used to grind the product. For quality surface treatment, grinding must be carried out gradually, without excessive tool pressure on the grinding surface. We start with a rough grinding paper and continue to a fine granulation. To achieve a splendid Kerrock surface, it's necessary to polish the product. A detailed procedure can be found in the processing instructions. Kerrock has received many awards for its qualities, functionality, and aesthetic appearance.